Hi, Bruno here. Welcome to Spainguru.
The Spanish Supreme Court eliminates the 6-month stay rule for Spanish Non-Lucrative Visa renewal. The Supreme Court has nullified the article that allows the revocation of temporary residency for immigrants who stay outside of Spain for more than 6 months. The court ruling states that no provision in the organic law on immigration or any European directive supports such a provision in the regulation, and this is the Reglamento de la Ley de Extranjería. The court ruled in favor of an Iranian citizen who had her temporary residence and work permit in Spain terminated by the government subdelegation in Girona in Catalonia province in 2019. The termination was based on her absence from the country for more than 6 months, as reported by the border post at Barcelona El Prat airport. The woman, who held a temporary residence permit, had left Spain on July 3, 2018 and stayed abroad more than 6 months until July 13, 2019. The administration applied the termination clause for the residence permit as stated in the Article 162, second letter E of the Immigration Regulation. Disagreeing with the decision, the woman appealed to the administrative court, which confirmed the facts as she admitted being outside of Spain for more than 6 months in a 1-year period. She explained that she had undergone surgery in Turkey on May 30th, 2019, but did not provide justification for the period she was absent from Spanish territory, as the medical procedure took place after the 6-month deadline specified in the before-mentioned regulation. When her appeal was rejected by the court, the woman took her case to the Catalonia High Court of Justice, or TSJ, which also dismissed her appeal, although one judge dissented. The judges argued, among other things, that she had not justified any force majeure cause and that the reasons for the termination of her temporary residence permit, as established in the regulations, are objective. Finally, the woman appealed to the Supreme Court to annul the decision of the government subdelegation in Girona in Catalonia province and to recognize her right to renew the requested residence permit. The Supreme Court has accepted her appeal. In a 32-page ruling, the judges explained that if the condition for revoking temporary residence is leaving the national territory for the mentioned periods, it should be noted that the provision imposes the obligation that those with the permit cannot leave Spanish territory during that time. However, no provision in the immigration law imposes such an obligation or declares the termination of the temporary residence permit due to an absence from the national territory for the mentioned period within the annual calculation. The ruling, with the Justice Wenceslao Olea as the rapporteur, emphasized that it is not the court's role to determine whether such a limitation is appropriate, but it should be established by an organic law rather than a regulatory provision such as the Reglamento de la Ley de Extranjería. Okay, but how does the recent ruling by Spain's Supreme Court affect individuals holding temporary residency, such as those on the Spanish Non-Lucrative Visa or residence? The ruling has 2 important implications. Visa renewals. As per the mentioned Supreme Court ruling, the immigration authorities cannot reject the renewal of temporary residence based solely on the applicant's absence from Spain for more than 6 months within the previous 12 months. And tax residency. The ruling allows individuals to maintain their temporary residency without acquiring tax residency status, at least in theory. Tax residency is typically obtained after residing in the country for more than 6 months. However, the tax residency is acquired according to various factors and not only the time period spent in Spain. It is therefore recommended to seek legal advice from tax experts to understand the potential implications and benefits of this ruling. And don't forget that on Spainguru.es you can find recommended immigration experts. It is important to note that the Supreme Court ruling only affects one article that regulates the temporary residence renewal conditions. Therefore, the ruling does not affect the requirements for obtaining permanent residency. To qualify for permanent residency after 5 years on a temporary residency, individuals must still demonstrate that they have not been absent from Spain for longer than 10 months in the last 5 years. Also, if you're planning to apply for Spanish citizenship, extended periods outside of Spain may impact an individual's eligibility for citizenship, although such cases are assessed on a more individual basis. While the Supreme Court's ruling has invalidated the 6-month requirement, it is still advisable to comply with it for the time being. The regulation itself has not been officially revised, and some immigration departments might not be aware of the recent ruling, potentially leading to complications during the renewal process, if the 6-month rule is not followed. Furthermore, it is possible that the Spanish government may introduce new legislation that overturns the Supreme Court's ruling. Therefore, it is essential to proceed with caution and seek legal advice from immigration experts and tax experts if necessary. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel.
Join Spainguru's community today. You can join our general Spanish immigration group and our dedicated groups for Spanish Non-Lucrative Visa and Spanish Digital Nomad Visa. Our groups together have more than 30,000 members. If you need expert professional advice, we got you covered. Just head to spainguru.es and check out our top menu. You'll find immigration experts, relocation agencies, tax advisors for Spanish and US filings, sworn translators, apostille services, consulate appointment services, and health insurance providers for all types of Spanish visa applications. That includes non-lucrative visa, golden visas, student visas, and digital nomad visas, as well as medical certificates for visa applications and travel health insurance. Finally, I highly recommend you join our weekly newsletter, which we send out every single Monday morning. You'll get tons of information, questions and answers, feature blog posts, and news updates. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.